Welcome to our HEIT 2402 Technology Transfer and Innovation. Now you are a Bachelor of Business Innovation and Technology Management. I am your tutor, Professor Henry Buisa. I'm going to take you through this unit. Now, the university course purpose and objectives of this unit. The course intends to provide an understanding of the role of technology transfer in innovation. You are expected to understand it. And then there are all these objectives. But I'm critiquing this purpose. You know, the university purpose of this unit limits the learner to just understanding the role of technology transfer. This is necessary, but it's not sufficient to assist you, the student, to become practical in this area, because the focus is mainly on the cognitive domain, on understanding, not doing. For that matter, I want to tell you that when you are a doer now today, in 10 years you'll be a millionaire. But when you are just a thinker, in 10 years you'll still remain an employee. I want you to be in that category. I want you to be a doer. Of course, you'll think and do, but I want you 10 years later to be a millionaire and not working as an employee like I am doing. So for that matter, I will go against the grain and conduct this unit in a practical manner. I will go beyond the theoretical understanding and the defining of concepts and make you carry out activities that will help you practice what you would have understood. I will combine the educational philosophies of Confucius, Risktaker, and the learning domains that include the Bloom's taxonomy. In other words, I'm actually bringing the CBC, competence-based curriculum, to university level. May I introduce you to the philosophy of Confucius, 450 BC. He said, I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. Many years later, Risktaker did research, educational research, and came up with what we call the learning pyramid. You know, he discovered that when the learner just hears lectures only, the retention of that knowledge is only 5% after a period of time. When the learner hears the lectures and also does some readings, retention increases. When the learner discusses in class, retention increases. But when the learner does practical projects, practically doing it, the retention increases. When that learner starts teaching others, telling others the practice that they did, then the retention is higher. And therefore I'm saying the course expects us just to do lectures. Lecture in the lecture hall, you go, you do cards, written exams, and therefore your retention is limited. That is the domains of learning. There is the cognitive domain, which is just getting knowledge in the head. Then there is the affective domain, which is now attitude. You can get knowledge, but are you developing that attitude? Are you owning that knowledge? Are you feeling it? And then the psychomotor, the hands-on. You can see that all these three researchers agree I hear and I forget is the lecture, which is the cognitive domain. I see and I remember are now demonstrations, which is affective. And I do and I understand, it is a psychomotor. So, yes, I will not refuse the lecture. I'm doing the lecture now. I will introduce you to the lecture, and this will be just for a very short time. My focus, my concentration is for you to understand, to do it in the field, understand it, to practice it, and therefore to use your skills psychomotor. And for that matter, I'm giving you already an assignment that alone or in a group of not more than 3, you will generate an innovation and successfully transfer it to the users. We're talking of technology transfer. You have to generate it and transfer it. Your card will be a report justifying why you generated that innovation, while your final examination will be a report showing the successful adoption of your technology. Part of your report will be a video explaining how you arrived at the decision to generate the innovation, and also to show that the innovation has been adopted by the users. So you are not going to perform me any written exam. You're going to bring me all that plus a video, and that's how I'm going to assess you. So let's start with some definitions. As per the Collins Dictionary, the word technology refers to methods, systems, and devices which are the result of scientific knowledge being used for practical purposes. Technology, simplified, technology is a very vast term. In fact, all have their own simple way of understanding its meaning. So we use technology to accomplish numerous tasks in our day-to-day lives. In the simplest words, when we use our scientific knowledge for achieving a specific purpose, creating tools or processing actions is referred to as technology. So you see, you have knowledge. When we use our scientific knowledge, you have your scientific knowledge. So that's technology, and that's what I want you to transfer to the users. I don't want you to remain. I don't want it to remain in you. I give you an exam, define technology, you answer me, but it remains in you. No. That knowledge that you are going to get here, I want you to transfer it to make it useful. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, technology is the application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes. So your knowledge, I want you to apply your knowledge for practical purposes, not just remain in the classroom. So what's the nature of technology? It involves purposive applications of various fields of science and scientific knowledge. Purposive. You came to school so that you get that knowledge for the purpose of utilizing it. And therefore I want you to start utilizing it even before you graduate. Technology is used to provide objects like products, machinery, tools, services that are necessary for human sustenance and comfort. So you're going to innovate. You're going to bring a tool if you want, a gadget that is good for human comfort. It is not restricted to hardware. Technology is not just this hardware that I'm holding in the hand. It also includes the know-how and the software, like a business model, like a procedure for doing something. That is also technology. Therefore, it has both public and private components. So, this is the broad and the narrow definition of technology. Look, from this horizon up to that, the general meaning of technology. Cultural aspect captured by that spectrum. The goals, values, and ethical codes, belief in progress, awareness, that is technology. Organizational aspect, economic and industrial activity, professional activity, users and consumers of trade, that's technology. Technical aspects, knowledge, skill, and technique, tools, machines, chemicals, lifeware resources, that's technology. So you see, all the three, the cultural, the technical, and organizational technology. But in the narrow, restricted meaning of technology, technical aspects. So we can talk of technology in the narrow sense and technology in the wide sense. How about innovation? In the dictionary, the word innovation comes from the Latin root innovators, which means to renew or to change. So innovation is different from invention. Invention is to create something that did not exist before, invent something. But innovation is to improve it, that which is, to renew it or to change. Innovation generally refers to the creation of better or more effective products, processes, technologies, or ideas that are accepted by environment. So if I am improving the methods of teaching, not just standing in the lecture hall and lecturing and you write notes, if I am now doing it by PowerPoint and interacting with you maybe by giving you assignments, that is innovation because I've improved. I'm moving you from the cognitive domain to the affective and even to the psychomotor. So you can call it an innovation, an innovative way of teaching. Innovation is about creating new value. People are willing to use and pay for. If people are not going to pay for what you have innovated, then what for? So innovation is about creating that new value that people will be willing to use and pay for. Innovation. Innovation is equal to invention plus exploitation. So the invention exploited becomes an innovation. I give you an example. The Wright brothers invented the aeroplane, but they left it there. Then somebody else came and commercialized that aeroplane. Innovated, improved, changed it. So it must be implemented and be useful. Innovation must be implementable and it must be useful. So if you are going to innovate something, bear in mind that something new or improved, perceived to be new. It can even be a new market. It is away from routine. So it must be novel, new, it must be implementable, and it must be useful. The intersection of new, implemented, and here alone is not yet innovation. Here alone, when the intersection of new and implemented is not yet innovation. So innovation must be both useful, must be new, and it must be implementable. Let's look at that process. Innovation. It is a product, a process, or a service. Innovation has an impact on society. Time, now or in the near future. Innovation is an improvement, not just new. The scale can be incremental or transformational. Innovation is generally a team activity. And that's why I say alone or in a group. You are better off working in a group to come up with innovation, because there's that brainstorming and sharing and cross-fertilization of ideas. So that is innovation for you. Innovation must have relative advantage, meaning this is the degree to which potential customers perceive a new product as superior to the existing substitutes. If your innovation is not going to have relative advantage over the existing ones, then nobody will get it. Why are you getting it in the market? Innovation must be compatibility. The degree to which potential consumers feel the new product is consistent with their present needs, values, and practices. It must be accepted by the people who are using it. If you come up with an innovation that is culturally a misfit, then it will not be innovation for that particular community. Complexity. The degree to which a new product is difficult to understand. Your innovation should not be complex, it should be easily understood. If it's not understood, it's not going to be used, and therefore it will fail to be an innovation. Triability or trial ability. The degree to which a new product is capable of being tried on a limited basis. I see you with your laptops, with your smartphones, you want Kaspersky, virus. Then Kaspersky tells you, we are giving you this virus on a trial basis. After 2 weeks, if you don't like it, throw it away. So it must be able to be tried, trial ability, so that someone can try it, like it or not, you throw it away, or so. And then observability. The degree to which a product, the benefits of a product or attributes can be observed, imagined, described. The camera that my video man is using, the results of that video will be observed, whether they are quality or not. But if they are not observable, then it is not technology or innovation. So innovation, therefore, has those characteristics that I've said: observability, relative advantage, compatibility, triability, and complexity. Must be observable. The result of the innovation might be visible to the potential adopters. So if it is speed, the speed of that car, whatever must be seen, that is actually, it can be observed. Relative advantage, the innovation is better than what is existing. Compatibility, it is acceptable by the consumers, the users. It fits in their day-to-day life. Triability, it can be tried. And complexity, it must be less complex than what is existing. We have a number of types of technology, innovation. Let's see 9 types here. We have products. Introduction of a new or significantly improved product, that's an innovation. Incremental, small, continuous, maybe not just a new product. It must be an improvement, a small, continuous improvement on the existing one. That's also innovation. The jobs the customer is trying to get done. The outcome driven, that's also an innovation. The new ways in which people manage and share resources, like an organization, that is also an innovation. Innovations that generate a paradigm shift in technology or science. For example, transistors. We call them breakthrough innovations. Disruptive innovations that displace established companies or industries. Business model new ways in which an organization creates and delivers and also captures value as an innovation, service innovation, introduction of new or significantly improved service that generates new customer value, and finally process implementation of a new and significantly improved production or delivery method. So innovations can be in all those aspects. You can pause your video, look at it again, and internalize it, digest it. There is another way of looking at types of innovation. Look at the axis, the technology on the horizontal axis, and the market on the vertical axis. If the technology is existing within the market that is already existing, this is incremental innovation. It exists. We only add a little on it to improve it. We call it incremental innovation. But if the technology is new and it's coming in an existing market, we call it disruptive innovation, because it's going to replace, to disrupt what is already in the market. It's new, it comes to disrupt existing market, so it's disruptive. If the technology is existing and is coming into a new market, we call it architectural innovation. And the radical innovation is the one that is new and creating new market. So, incremental innovations, minor changes on existing products. You can do that. You can get a product like this one, minor changes on it. It exploits the potentials of existing design. So you capitalize on what is existing and improve it a little bit. Often reinforces the dominance of an established firm. So if you are already an established firm, you can incrementally increase, improve. You call it incremental innovations. Radical innovation, it is based on a different set of engineering and scientific principles. It often opens up new markets and potential applications. It creates great difficulties to existing firms and leaves space for entry of new firms. That's radical innovation, completely new in a new market. Architectural innovation, it changes the way in which components are linked together while leaving the basic components intact. We shall be looking at it when we're talking about the Scamper method. Component innovation, improvement of a component. So that is what we saw here. Incremental, disruptive, it's explained. You can again pause your video, look at it in detail. So there are 4 key elements of innovation. One is collaboration, another one is ideation, implementation, and value creation. Let's look at each of them. Collaboration is teamwork. Thinking together is open innovation, meaning listen and explore. Say, what can we do together? And I've told you, alone or in a group of 3. So if you are in a group of 3, these are the questions you are going to pose yourself to guide you in this assignment. Learn and adjust. How will we learn together? Focus and align. What should we do together? Link and leverage. What will we actually do together? This one was what should we do, and then what will we do. So, it's advisable that you work in groups, you put those questions, and by the time you get the answers, you'll be. Look at this team. Together, everyone achieves more. Look at this. If ants, if insects can work together to achieve that goal, why not you? Insects are carrying a heavy log and they are achieving. So this is collaborative teamwork. We normally say, if you want to go very fast, walk alone. But when you want to go very far, go people. Ideation. The creative process of generating, developing, and communicating new ideas. An idea is a basic element of thought that can be either visual, concrete, or abstract. There it is, the ideation loop. You know, you can imagine going to space maybe, then you sketch it, and then you see it, and the loop goes. This is what we call idea generation. You imagine a solution. You imagine that this is going to be ABCD, and then you sketch it. You sketch what your solution should be, and there you are in. So that is the second. Now, implementation. The carrying out, execution, or practice of a plan, a method, or any design, idea, model, specification, standard, or policy for doing something. As such, implementation is the action that must follow any preliminary thinking in order for something to actually happen. They are implementing. Implementation now, you're together, you're putting up the steps, you're putting up the jigsaw. That is implementation. So once you have ideated, you need to implement. And that's when value will be created. You don't have innovation if your new ideas are not creating value. Don't do it just like enjoying, you are satisfying just yourself. That what you are innovating must create value. And the value is that which satisfies human desire. It refers to the ideals in various aspects of behavior. They refer to what we ought to do in preference to something which we should not do. It is an endeavor which satisfies need system, psychological as well as physiological value. So, I now want to introduce you to one technique of generating innovations. It is called Scamper. It is a great tool for stimulating innovation. Scamper is a creative technique that helps generate new ideas or improve existing ones. Look at the word Scamper. Each letter spells something. The S, substitute. You are saying there is something existing, can it be substituted? The C means combine. The A means adapt. Modify, minify, magnify. And the P means put to other use. The E means eliminate, and the R means rearrange. In other words, you can take anything. Take this thing, take this lamp, take any existing product and carry it through. What can you substitute it with? What can you combine it with? Can you adapt it to do something else? Go through Scamper, these 7 letters, and you will be doing your Scamper method. Let's now go through the Scamper. The S, substitute. Think about substituting part of your product, whichever product you have chosen, or process for something else. By looking for something to substitute, you can often come up with a new idea. Typical questions you ask yourself: what can I substitute to make an improvement? What if I swap this for that and see what happens? how can I substitute the place, time, material, or people? Look, M-Pesa substituted or replaced the post office in money transfers. The phone, that smartphone that you are having, when they came, they were very heavy, a lot of metal. Samsung comes up and then materials have been substituted with light materials. Now we have very light telephones. So scamper has been used, that method. The S. The C in scamper is combine. Think about combining two or more parts of your opportunity to achieve a different product, process, or to enhance synergy. Ask yourself, what materials, what features, processes, people, products, or components can I combine? Where can I build synergy? Look, Meko, that you use in your kitchen. Meko is a combination of gas cylinder with cooking grill. The phone, we combine a camera, was combined with the phone. Computers combined with scanners. All these are examples of combine in the scamper method. The A in scamper is adapt. You think about which parts of the product, process could be adapted to other uses, or think of how you could change the nature of the product. What part of the product, you are asking yourself, what part of the product could I change? And in exchange for what? What if I were to change the characteristics of a component? Look, M-Pesa has been adapted to perform bank services. The phone has been adapted for banking. So we adapt, you get an existing and adapt it to do other things. The M is modify. Think about changing part or all of the current situation, or to distort it in an unusual way. By forcing yourself to come up with new ways of working, you are often prompted into an alternative product. So, question to ask yourself, what happens if I work or exaggerate a feature or component? What will happen if I modify the process in some way? Look, now we have cylinder regulators that were modified to become universal. A long time ago, every cylinder had its own regulator. You could not use a regulator of Shell or Ajib on Total. But now they have actually been modified, so you just have one regulator and you can change it and use it on any cylinder. The phone was modified to have a flashlight so that you have mulikamuizi, you use it as a torch. It's been modified. Computers now come in different sizes. We have a desktop, a laptop, an iPad. They have been modified to come in different sizes. That is innovation. The P in scamper is put to other use. Think of how you might be able to put your current solution, product, or process to other uses. Ask questions like, what other market could I use this product in? Who or what else might be able to use it? Look, border is now being used to plow. The phone is now being used to text, to take photos, to play games. So it's being put to other uses. If you look at, let's say, the tires, the used tires, you can now use them to swings. You go and build up swings in the rural areas using the used tires. You can use the used tire as a signpost. Big used tires, paint it, and then you ride there. So take one thing and see, how else can I use it? Can I put it to another use? You are innovating. Then the E is eliminate. Think of what might happen if you eliminated parts of a product or a process. This often leads to you considering different ways of tackling the opportunity. Typical questions are, what would happen if I removed a component or part of it? How else would I achieve the solution without no way of doing it? Look, antennas were eliminated from the mobile phones. When the mobile phones came first, they were big with antennas, and now your mobile phones, here it is, no antenna, maybe inbuilt, but we used to have these antennas. So antennas were eliminated. The R now in Scamba is of the E. The R is rearrange. Think of what you would do if part of your product or process worked in a reverse or done in a different way. Questions are like, what if I did it in another way round? What if I reverse the order that it is done, or the way it is used? How will I achieve the opposite effect? Look, I see some of you putting on jackets that tomorrow you come with the same jacket, but you have put it inside out. Jackets that have been made to reverse, then you use from both sides. The inside can equally be used at the outside. Those are things that you can, I'm told that you can rearrange a motor to become a generator. Those technical side, you can maybe do that. Now, my students, your former colleagues, scampered a machete, a panga. And my students, your former BBIT students, scampered a panga. You can get it on my YouTube, I'll give you the link. An ordinary panga, an ordinary machete. Look at all this. They produced, they substituted. The ordinary machete panga had just a wooden handle, and when you use it, you get blisters in the hand. So they came and substituted the wooden handle with soft plastic. If you see it here, it is very thick, comfortable. This is what they did. They substituted that one. They combined, look, this is a slasher. And you can see they have combined it here. They have made a bolt here. This slashes here, you can open it up and then you start using it as a slasher. They adapted it. This front of the panga can be used as a spade. They put a saw. Look, they have made, if you check down here, they have actually went to a welder and they introduced a saw there. So they modified it, adapted it. They put to other use. Look, they have now like a sickle. They are using it as a sickle. They are also using it as a djembe. And they eliminated, like I said, they eliminated the hard cover and brought in the soft one. So this was their examination. How did they come up with this? These students went to Kisii. Of course, one of them came from Kisii, and they noticed the small-scale farmers in Kisii with their bananas farms, and they plant maize in there. They plant many other crops there, horticulture. Now they have to carry a panga, they carry a djembe, they carry a rave, many instruments to go to the farm. So they thought, why don't we innovate for these farmers just to carry one thing and go? And this is what they did. They converted the panga, the slasher. So you open the slasher, they slash the weeds in the farm, and then when they have finished it, they use the head of the panga just to kind of weed, and then the whatever you call it, the leaves from the banana. They use this saw to cut slash. So with just one instrument, they produced it for the, and this was their exam. So if they can do it, why not you? Again, watch my video on how they explaining what they did and all that. Now, technology transfer. We want now to talk about technology transfer. Technology transfer is the process of transferring skills, knowledge, technologies, methods of manufacturing, samples of manufacturing, and facilities among governments or universities and other institutions to ensure that scientific and technological development are accessible to a wider range of users who can then further develop and exploit the technology into new products, processes, applications, materials, and services. It is closely related to knowledge transfer. I got this from Wikipedia. So what I'm saying is, your knowledge, you can also transfer it. This is the process of technology transfer. Invention disclosure, or call it innovation disclosure, assessment, protection, marketing, licensing, and financial returns. So this is your technology transfer process. That first of all, we innovate, and when we innovate, we disclose that we have innovated. Then it is assessed, like this is disclosed in a technology transfer office. Then it is assessed whether it fits or not. Then you get protection. Then you market it, licensing, and then you get your financial returns. So technology transfer is there for the process by which technology is disseminated. It involves communication of relevant knowledge by the transferer to the recipient. It is the form of technology transfer transaction which may or may not be legally binding. So the movement of scientific methods of production or distribution from one enterprise, institution, or country to another is what we are referring to as technology transfer. Now, I want you to observe here very, very carefully. The question is, what drives successful technology transfer? There is what we call technology push and market pull. In a technology push, look, you create a superior new technology and you push it into the market. The example, new IT and web technologies drive automation in manufacturing and replace traditional production methods. But there is also market pull. An urgent problem can only be solved if a new technology is introduced. Pollution from dirty manufacturing must be reduced by modern ways. So, here is the supplier. Supplier, you produce it and you push it to the market. But here, the need arises from the market. And when there is need, then you innovate to meet that need. Normally, the demand market pull succeeds faster, but doesn't mean that technology push doesn't. So therefore, we have already seen meaning of technology transfer, broad set of processes covering flow of knowledge, experience, equipment, and among stakeholders, includes technology diffusion, and this is what we're going to step on a little. Technology diffusion and technology cooperation. It includes both hard and software. Diffusion of technology innovations, again, innovations. The diffusion has got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 stages. The stage of innovators, then there are the early adopters, early majority, late majority, and laggards. What do we mean by diffusion? Diffusion means the speed at which an innovation is accepted by the users. So we have kind of 5 different users and 5 kind of stages. You see, the diffusion takes a bell-shaped curve that when a new innovation comes into the market, there are those we call innovators, the risk lovers, who will jump at it, try it. About 2.5% of the market will jump at your new innovation and go with it. Then there are the early adopters, about 13.5%. Then the early majority, 34%, the late majority, but they are always the laggards who always wait to see. So when you introduce your technology, don't get worried that it's not being absorbed in the market immediately, because this is the behavior of the. So these ones, the innovators, sometimes called enthusiasts, people who love technology, anything new they want to look at it. The other adopters are like visionaries. Pragmatists, the early majority. Conservatives, the late majority. But then there are all the skeptics who say, let's wait and see. We can look at it from another point of view. Innovative leaders, the ones who are risk lovers, they risk. Anything new that comes, they want to jump at it and try it. Then we have what we call opinion leaders, the pioneering. After the innovators, the risk lovers have taken it, these pioneers come in. And then they are what we call the early majority, or fall in line. They now fall in line with what everybody else is doing. But they are the hesitant ones, the late majority, and of course the resistant ones. Those who resist technologies and anything new. We can look at it again from another point of view. They are the innovators here. We say, whoa, bring it on, let's go. Oh, I'm pathetic. Then there are those ones who are, like, say, brilliant idea after the war, just working on the kings. Then these are the ones who, I had it from so and so. It's good. So I think I can try it. There are those, the early majorities. Then there are these ones who found it, sold it at somebody's, and only then, like I found it at some club. Then, and there are those ones who say, what? New product? What are you talking about? Those are the laggards. Let's look at it again. The innovators again. Yeah, that's a shiny new thing. I want to try it. Then there's cool kids, have a new tool I want. Then there are the ones who look like, it looks interesting, but is it for me? They're still thinking whether to jump on the wagon or not. Then what are those? Where is up to? And then there are those, I want my fax machine back. They want to keep the old technologies. They don't jump at the new one. Finally, let's look at it again. The innovator, those, I am a risk taker. I want anything that comes in. I want to try it. Then I want to have a go from the risk taker, the animal adopters. What's going on over there? The ones who listen and say, oh, people are doing it. What they up to? And then, oh well, everyone else doing it, so why not me? You know, the late majority. And of course, there are the laggards. Just leave me alone. What are we saying therefore? We're saying that when you come up with their technology, with their innovation, there are a very few, 2.5% of the market, that will jump at it and try it. Then there will be the early adopters, early majority, who will now follow the innovators, and on and on. Then there are the laggards. Like you might find that people are now, there are some people now buying black and white TVs when the technology is already gone. They were the ones who are waiting to see. So you may want, with your technology, to advertise these ones. Maybe advertisement, maybe, you know, creating awareness, because if you don't, then only 2.5 of the market might get it. How can you accelerate the pace of diffusion of adoption? So this is the shape, and now let's look at it in terms of sales now. You know, the product life cycle, the red curve is the product life cycle, and the green is the diffusion curve. So when the product is very new, at introduction, the innovators jump at it. As it grows, the growth stage of the product life cycle, that's when the early adopters and early majority come in. You know, the cash cow, you know, the growth. Then the maturity, when now the product is a cash cow, is when you have late maturity, and when it is declining, it's when the laggards come in. So, this was an experiment or research by Rogers, and he gave us, therefore, this green curve of diffusion of technology adoption vis-a-vis the product life cycle. Now, at our university, or at any universities, we are now talking about the university and technology transfer. Normally, oversight by technology transfer office in any university that is technology savvy, they will have what we call a TTO, the Technology Transfer Office. This Technology Transfer Office, it secures funds for innovations, for research, and then when the researchers have come up with an innovation, they have to disclose, innovation disclosure. They give the Technology Transfer Office, they disclose the innovation that they have come up with. And then it is the Technology Transfer Office which will now apply for a patent. It will assess the technology, the innovation, apply for the patent. Then when you have that patent, we can now have either a licensing agreement, maybe with a mass producer, or You start your own spin-off company. So with your patent, you can decide to go in and do your own work, spill out venture. This is as a professor of entrepreneurship, and you as my students, I will choose this route. That when you have done your innovation and you have disclosed and you have patented it, why don't you try it yourself? You know? But you can also decide to get a license agreement with a mass producer, and then you will be just getting fees and royalties when the license producer is using it. But here, you are getting your own equity, your own trade sales, and all that. So this is the technology transfer returns. So we start from here. The university has a TTO functioning, securing funds, and completing research. Then the core function of the technology transfer office is to assess the innovations, apply for patent, and advise you whether you go license or not. And finally, the technology transfer returns. So this is a typical technology transfer process at universities. You can watch again my YouTube channel at those links. You'll get more on technology and innovation, technology transfer, and so on and so forth. I want to repeat that technology is both hardware and software. That knowledge that you have, that knowledge that we have given you in the classroom, in the lecture hall, that's your technology. I want you to use to transfer it. I want you to start transferring it even before you graduate. Why should you go on to look for a job, to go for interviews, when you can convert your knowledge, transfer it, and start employing people? That is the philosophy of my teaching, my training. I always say, nobody becomes a millionaire working for another. You are not going to be a millionaire working for an employer. Go ahead, work on this assignment that I've given you. Come up with something that will help you stand on your own even as you go out there. Thank you, and I wish you well.